Don't forget there are gift cards available at RitaYanez.com.
Hi Taurus, this is your monthly reading for the month of December 2015. Happy holidays to you. We start off the month with the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords is a card that indicates that there is a level of dishonesty that's present. Now, it could be actually a theft happening near or around your home or property. It could happen around your vehicle and the property inside it. So I don't want you to panic, but I want you to keep in mind that this is the month that sometimes people do desperate things for a few bucks, pawning somebody's cell phone or stereo. So just keep that in mind. It could even be an inside job, if you will. This would be the kind of energy where we see somebody who's either a guest in the home or a member of the family home who does something almost unthinkable. So only you would know if there's a potential for this in your home. Now, if you don't have a potential like this going on inside your home, and I really doubt that it would ever be a Taurus who would actually do this kind of thing to somebody else, so I highly doubt that you would be the one involved in stealing, robbing, or doing something to somebody else. You guys are always generous. Generally, if somebody's going to help somebody out of a bind financially or with some material item or with a resource or, helping them land a job, it would be Taurus. So I just really don't see that it's you. So if it isn't that you actually have members in your home that could be capable of something such as this, then you need to make sure that when you're away from your home or apartment or whatever your living situation is, that you keep everything secure. If you go somewhere with your vehicle and you park it somewhere and you usually don't think about leaving your purse on the seat while you pump gas, think again. If you feel like there is a bad area that you live in or near, then think twice about going on your errands at night. It doesn't look like violence to me. It just looks like a brazen or blatant robbery, something that's almost done in a flagrant way. So I think that you'd see it. You could park your vehicle, be staring in the direction of where it is, and somebody's actually ripping it off. So I would just take extra precautions, and look how simple this is to implement. Park under bright lights when you go to the store if it's dark. Try to avoid shopping at night anyway. And if you do go shopping during the day, pay attention to your surroundings. Even if you're at the grocery store and you're pushing your cart out and it's noon, look around, see if there's anybody unusual following you. It's really easy to spot these people because they're not pushing a cart. They've got their hands in their pockets usually, or at least the first 3-4 fingers of their hands in each of their pant pockets, especially if it's a male. You'll also notice things like this person is looking around nervously. If you even ever get the freaky idea that somebody's about to ambush you, I want you to step on that cart, start screaming, like jump on it like when you were a kid. Start screaming, asking for help. Another thing you could also do is to install one of those siren type of apps on your cell phone if you own a cell phone, which most people do. Now, if you've got one of those cell phones that are friendly buttons, they're really big and chunky so that they're easy for people with different limitations to use. You may not have that feature, but if you've got an Android phone, most certainly I can tell you that they're there on Google Play stores. And these are apps that scream and make sounds. You could also have, like I do, pepper spray on your keychain. You can have it out, and I don't mean get ready to try to look for it digging through the bottom of your purse and in your backpack. When you walk out of the store, you need to have the thing open with your finger at the top, and it would be much better for you to get busted for owning a can of pepper spray than to be hurt, abducted, raped, or worse. So there are ways to avoid this by just being safe and sound. The kind of energy that we have here isn't so much about illnesses and diseases, although I am going to say that there's a potential there for some of you to be somewhat ill, that your health is just not 100% this month. But I want you to keep in mind that this is one of those periods of time in December that for you, you are accident prone. So watch where you're going, where you're driving. It reminds me of a ticket that my mom got recently that probably wasn't the most fair ticket, but then we talked about it. And as a result of talking about what she was ticketed on, I actually am more mindful about how far my tires are. Hi, Mom. You know, before they roll all the way into a crosswalk or even touch that damn line. So accident prone would indicate that we need to slow down. We need to be certain we're not so rushed that we drop a heavy item on our feet. We need to be mindful of when doing the dishes in a sink. I have a huge aversion to knives and glass in a sink because when I was a kid, I think I've told you the story that my mother was doing the dishes. Her hand was under the water and she cut the top of her hand with a piece of glass. She didn't know a glass had broken in the sink. And I remember how she tried to keep her composure. My father was totally, fully freaked out. And she was teary and she was holding this piece of a towel or a washcloth or something over her hand. And then later she told me that she wasn't as much in pain. She said it burned, but she wasn't in so much pain as it was that she was afraid that this was going to require a trip to the emergency room for stitches, because at that time we didn't have Affordable Care Act. You know, we didn't have insurance exchanges. And I remember the story that my dad told, which gave me incredible guilt, that when I needed knee surgery at 10 years old because of a playground accident, a lot of you that went to school, we went to school together, you remember that one. And so my surgery cost them $4,000 about 37 years ago. No, wait, 27? 37? Yeah, 37 years ago. And I felt terrible about it, but my mother was really more worried about how much it was going to cost to stitch up her hand. Don't even ask me how that thing healed, because my hand is a little bigger than hers, but I'm telling you that it was about a 4-inch gash across the top of her hand. So, pardon me for just a moment. I want you to think about those little stupid things that could happen. You know, have you ever been in a hurry vacuuming? Guys, I've seen you guys do this. You're vacuuming and you turn around, you're like, "Durr," and then you trip over the cord and almost kill yourself. That's the kind of accident I'm talking about. You have the other situations where, you know, your phone buzzed, tickled your leg, fell, and then boink, there you go, you hit somebody in front of you. That's the kind of accident proneness that I'm talking about. Again, I don't think it's so much of a physical health surprise kind of condition, although I do believe that for a few of you out there, there is going to be the indication that if you have already been dealing with the health challenge, you need to take good care of yourself in December. It's just one of these funky energy patterns where people tend to get a little sick or they just don't recover fast enough. Or let's just say you have an issue with anxiety. This would be a month that you could end up having a few more anxiety attacks than what you're used to. And maybe even at times that you're not prepared to handle it. You know, I tell people that get anxiety attacks to carry Xanax with them and be prepared to have somebody pick them up and take them home, because you may have to take the Xanax to stop the whole cycle, which can result in even hyperventilation, and have somebody else just come pick you up. So remember, be safe, be aware of your surroundings, take it slow, don't rush anything. And if somebody's at the door and they're just banging away and you're trying to do like my mom and come down those stairs quickly, no one on the other side of the door is worth tripping down the stairs, breaking your arm or a leg or worse to answer it. If somebody really is looking for you and they know you, they're going to call you. I don't suggest you answer your door to people that you don't recognize, or if you're looking outside and you don't see a FedEx truck, then I don't think you're getting a FedEx delivery. So who the hell is at your door anyway? Week 2, we have the 5 of Pentacles in reverse. And I think that you're not going to really have as much of an issue with financial constraints as you are just needing to be mindful of and observe where you put your valuables. I'm going to say it again. So the issue being that when we see 2 5s like this in a row, it was reminding me that there is someone, a situation, a dynamic. It could even be a trajectory where people come and go through. And, you know, like what was happening to my mom in her area for a while, the drug addicts were apparently coming through and ripping stuff off of out of people's garages because everybody was used to leaving the garage doors open. So again, be mindful of your environment. Be mindful of where you put your possessions. I don't think that you're going to be having a literal out in the cold, your wife kicked you to the curb in front of the doghouse kind of thing, because I think that somehow just through attrition, you end up having your partner in your face all the time anyway. I know this is terrible news for mom because, she just can't. Sorry, mom. She just can't deal. You put my stepdad in front of her a little longer than there is already, and somebody could get hurt in that house, and it wouldn't be my mother. Week 3, we've got the Queen of Cups upright, and so it seems like things start to smooth out here. And there could be somebody that you love very much, somebody close to you. Could be a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Could actually be a friend of yours or somebody who gives very good advice, such as this, your neighbor, maybe a longtime friend that you spend time with every week. And you might be able to share some of these anxieties or phobias or tell your friend the weird things that I tell you. And it seems to be that this is a person that helps keep things nice and calm around you. Week 4, we have the Hierophant, and this is an indication that you're looking forward to having a more traditional Christmas, even if it's you and the cat Fred, as I always say, and this is family. Well, then this is an indication that that is the way that you have your traditions, and these are the traditions that you're used to. You might even want to have a family party or a buffet style or a potluck type of party and invite all your other single friends and their cats or dogs or hedgehogs. Whatever it is, you can have fun with this, because it's indicating that even if it's just not that what you do is so traditional, it's just that there are some things that could be very much outside the box, which have now become tradition. Maybe every year you take your dog, you put a silly hat and a mustache on it, or you dress it up like Santa Claus and give it a little sack of bones and take some pictures. So there's something here that has become very dear to you, and or something that you're craving, such as this, some tradition in your life. And not everybody has a family with mom, dad, 2.5 children, and a station wagon. It doesn't always work that way. My family structure is very limited to me and my kids. I see my mother whenever that's possible. Other than that, we just revolve around each other, because that's become our tradition, is that we do things on a very simple, very heartfelt basis. It's not very fancy. It's just what it is for us. Week 5, we've got the 4 of Swords here, and this is good because I sure as heck would like to see you slow down this month. I tell people about my mother a lot because the stories about her are just hilarious and sometimes perplexing, but my mother is my mother is my mother, and I adore her. But, she is so hyperactive that, have you ever seen remember the cartoons with Wile E. Coyote and the Road Runner? Well, my mother is like the Road Runner. I can't believe that at 70 years old, my mother is far more energetic than people at about 25 or 30. And so she scares me, and I'm going to have to remind her now to watch this or to hear me out when I tell her that when she's going to her job that she just loves, she's having so much fun most of the time, that she needs to be slow across the parking lot because of the ice. And she's pretty good about this, but I was like, Mom, you attract the guys just breathing. Have the guys come out and walk you to the store, or hold your shoulder, or just be there with you in case you go to beef it. I've beefed it before, and I'm spastic. I'm just not as energetic as she is. I just get more into the hyperactivity mode of doing too many things at once. But with that said, it seems like the end of the month finds you rested up, getting your body in some natural healing time, like sitting down, curling up with a good book, sitting down, having a nice hot chocolate with whipped cream, sitting down. And even if you're diabetic and you can't have the hot chocolate or the whipped cream, there are recipes that you can use with Splenda, and you could do this with Hershey's powdered cocoa mix. I'm not pimping them. They're not paying me. And there's even dietetic versions of your favorite creamers and whipped cream. So Cool Whip even comes in a sugar-free version. So there's plenty of recipes that you can concoct to sit down with your family, and maybe your 2.5 dogs, and maybe it's your crazy uncle or something, but you sit down, you have a good time, and you're able to appreciate that. The reason for the season is very much an individual definition. As we see in the world, there's everything from politics to countries to religion, that borders are just one more thing on top of it that divides us up. When the truth is, we're all human. We all bleed. That doesn't mean that we allow crazy people to do crazy things. Look at what just happened in San Bernardino. My heart is broken because that's very close to my backyard. What I want to say to you is to remember that, at least like me, I'm a Jesus person. I love him. I don't do religion. I don't do division. And the only politics I'm interested in is my own party. I'm a vegetarian. With that said, have a wonderful holiday season. Enjoy yourself. Be careful there, Roadrunner friend, make sure that you stay alert to your surroundings. Make sure that your house is secure when you leave. And I wouldn't necessarily be letting my kids bring a bunch of strangers in because we just don't know who's who at this time. So you might as well just be safe. If your kids want to meet up with their friends, it might be a good time to take them out for a treat. Maybe some ice cream at Arctic Circle or over at your favorite place, like maybe McDonald's or Burger King for a shake, and then kind of work your way through getting to know these people because it seems like there's a little bit of a risk factor here. Take good care of yourselves, and I'll be talking to you soon.